You know, we think of our cells as these little machines always just reacting to the now. But what if? What if your cells have been keeping a diary this whole time?
It's a great question, and honestly, until very, very recently, the answer was basically no. Or at least not a diary we could ever hope to read.
But that's what's so wild about the paper we're digging into today. This is CytoTape from Nature in 2026. And the claim is, well, it's that researchers have built a protein that physically records gene activity inside a living cell.
Yeah, diary is the perfect word for it. The team at Michigan, they essentially built a molecular tape recorder, one that actually assembles itself inside the cell.
Okay, before we get into how a protein becomes a cassette tape, let's just set the stage. Why do we even need a cellular diary? I mean, we have amazing microscopes, right? Can't we just watch?
We can, but biology has this massive, call it a snapshot problem. Take something like single-cell RNA sequencing. It gives you this incredibly deep data on a cell's genes, but
You have to destroy the cell to get it.
exactly. So it's like an autopsy. You know exactly what the cell was doing at the moment of death, but you missed the whole movie leading up to it.
You don't see how it decided to become a neuron or the exact path a cancer cell took to, evade a drug.
You're just missing the timeline. Live imaging is great, but you're usually stuck tracking just one or two things at once, not the whole story.
Which brings us to CytoTape. I was looking at figure 1, the mechanism, and it's surprisingly analog. This isn't digital code, it's a physical thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Think of it like a tiny ticker tape machine inside the cytoplasm. It all starts with this one protein building block, a monomer, and they've engineered it to self-assemble into a long, flexible filament
And this filament just keeps growing.
continuously. As long as the cell is alive, that little printer is running, which means the physical length of the tape literally equals time. The base is the past, the tip is the present.
Okay. But a long blank strip of protein isn't much of a diary. It needs words. How does the cell actually write on the tape?
Ah, that's the really clever part. In the second figure, they show the multiplexing. The whole system is rigged so that when a specific event happens, like, say, a transcription factor switches on, the cell produces a specifically colored tag.
So if gene A turns on, it sticks a little red piece onto the growing tip of the filament.
And if gene B turns on, it adds a green one. So you end up with this microscopic, multicolored barcode, red, red, green, blue. And that sequence tells you the exact chronological order of everything that happened.
It's like tree rings, but color-coded for gene activity. So here's the part that kind of tripped me up. This is a physical tape inside a microscopic cell. You can't just press rewind. How do you actually play it back?
Right. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You can't exactly plug a USB into a neuron.
Right.
The answer is you don't play it back live. To read the tape, you have to fix the tissue, preserve it, and then you bring in the high-resolution microscope.
Ah, so you take a picture of the filament.
Exactly. And you literally just read the color sequence from tip to tail to decode the entire timeline.
So you still have to stop the movie at the end to watch it. But the movie they recorded here wasn't just in a dish. They took this into living animals.
They did. That's the CytoTape vivo data in figure 3. They put this entire system into the brains of living mice, and they tracked activity across more than 14,000 neurons at the same time.
Wait, 14,000? That number is...
Uh-huh.
That's just staggering.
It's massive. They were tracking 5 signals at once. These immediate early genes like CREB and CFAS, things we know are tied to memory. They could look back over weeks and see the history of how those specific neurons were firing.
That feels like the real hello world moment for this. So if we zoom out a bit, what this means is we're moving from studying cell states, what a cell is doing right now, to studying cell histories.
That's the huge conceptual leap. I mean, think about that cancer drug resistance problem again. Normally, we only see the tumor after it's already beaten the chemo. With this, you could rewind a tape on those specific resistant cells and see the exact molecular turn they took weeks ago.
Or in neuroscience, finally seeing how a long-term memory is physically written down over days.
Precisely. And it's just a great example of this tool builder approach to science, right? The big breakthroughs often come from engineering new ways to just see what's happening.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. If you had to boil it down, what are the top 3 takeaways for CytoTape?
Okay. First, they build a self-assembling protein tape where length equals time. Second, it's a barcode. It writes multiple gene signals at once using different colors. And third, and this is a big one, it's validated in vivo. It works in living brains for weeks.
Is there a catch? Any major limitation?
The main one is the readout we talked about. You have to fix the cell to see the tape, so it's not for real-time monitoring. It's more like a flight recorder. You get all the data, but only after the journey's over.
Still, being able to finally read a cell's diary, that's revolutionary. It makes you wonder, if our cells have been keeping these logs all along, what other secrets are they hiding that we're just now learning how to read? Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.
Welcome to the Everyday Journal Club. I'm Hope, a biologist with 15 years of research experience, now fortunate to be working in a Nobel Prize-winning lab. This channel has three main goals. 1, to help you stay effortlessly updated on the latest scientific breakthroughs. No paywalls, no jargon overload. 2, to build a supportive community where we can exchange the most valuable experience-based research advice. 3, to share valuable strategies and concrete examples on how to achieve meaningful scientific breakthroughs. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll begin releasing content focused on the third goal. Let's go! Let's make great science together.